Welcome to episode number 60 of the Keep Up Podcast,
where we never burn the grilled cheese.
I like that one. I feel like you're getting the hang of this intro thing.
Dude, it's the only way to go up.
Alright, easy. Reel it in.
I know, sometimes
Cowboy.
I overshoot myself.
Tiger.
Wheel it in, tiger.
I didn't say wheel it in.
Wheel it in. Wheelie? That's wheelie. That's the only burp you get this podcast.
I need more. Here, let me just go ahead and put this out there. If this podcast / vodcast is a series of belching and shaking.
Well, you'll find out this Saturday.
I apologize.
Why that's the case.
It's coming out Saturday?
Saturday.
Alright. We just made a video and I'm not comfortable in my own skin.
I seriously, I want to go through a car wash and not in a car.
I need a shower.
Yeah.
And this is making it sound way creepier than it is.
Oh, no, it's not.
I like the open-endedness.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I feel it. It's sitting there like, Tim, shake. You gotta shake.
What is that? Our bodies are rejecting something.
Yeah, it really is. That's what it is. We just don't want to be... Okay.
If you never watched the podcast, I think this is the one to watch.
This is certainly...
So you can watch us periodically shiver.
Shake.
Okay.
So let's see. This is the week of July. What's today? 20...
When you say the week of, what day do you give the date of? I've never known.
When... Well, you must give it the day you're on. So this is the week of whatever the first day of the week is.
Okay, new question. Is the first day of the week Sunday or
Monday? It has to be Monday because what's the weekend?
The end of the week. Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Some people say Friday and Saturday, but those people are weird.
Those are weird people.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh.
My muscles just like keep contorting.
We should have done the podcast first.
We should have. We were just so excited to do the video.
We got anxious.
Oh,
alright, we're good. Number 60. It's the week of July 25th. Let's go with that.
And you know what happened this week?
July 25th, I think, is Tuesday. It's just a random thing.
Let's just...
I mean, I'm not...
yeah.
What's today?
24th.
Yeah, so we were recording on Monday. It is technically the week of the 25th.
I guess.
Right, it
happens in the week.
Number 60.
60.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad. That's a pretty good.
That's
Did you say that's a pretty
Well,
good?
I think I was saying like that's
pretty good.
Not the letter A, but UH.
Pretty good.
Yeah, like
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, right there. Having a stroke?
I might be.
All right. That would be sweet. Let's go into stupid questions.
Okay.
All right, so this week, the week of Shark Week.
That's this week?
That's this week.
Yo.
I never watch it.
But are you gonna watch
the Michael Phelps thing?
Phelps versus...
That happened already.
I know, just kidding.
Oh.
I didn't know. Who won?
Phelps beat every shark except the great...
Every shark.
They had him go up against a bunch of sharks.
I know. They had to go against every shark on the planet.
They're like, all right, you go for it.
Shark.
He beat everyone except the great white.
Well, okay.
So,
what was the format? How'd they do
I know,
it?
that was my big question. Basically what they did was they had, they like restricted this area of the ocean basically.
Okay.
And they had the shark get like, what's the word I'm looking for? Distracted, focused on this like dummy, like this little like...
Distracted or focused?
Like distractedly focused. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's...
Focus probably sounds right.
Yeah, but what is it when you distract something with an object?
Lure?
Yes.
Okay.
So they are luring it.
Yeah.
Lure. And Phelps was just kind of like next to him going along. And I guess the shark didn't go over. It's like, hey, look at this tasty guy. But yeah, so they just had him go head to head and they had, the distance set and the timer and all that stuff. But yeah, he beat everyone except the great white.
That's so weird.
And by everyone, I can't list them all, but
yeah.
I know there's Hammerhead.
That's cool.
That's so that was interesting. But this brings me to the question. Do sharks know it's Shark Week?
I thought that was...
Do you think they're aware that every year They had this whole week dedicated to them, and they just don't even know.
Do sharks know it's shark?
Folks, I might have got him with this one. This is always the intention of stupid questions to make everyone laugh, honestly. But
Do sharks know it's Shark Week?
now there's like multiple layers to it. Do you think it's a day they enjoy because it's a day to celebrate them, or a day they dread because all these humans start filming all this stuff?
It's a whole week. It's not a day.
No, I know. Shark Week.
You said, do they enjoy the day?
Oh, I'm sorry. Enjoy the week.
Wait, this is Shark Week?
This week. Right now.
When did the Phelps thing happen?
Yesterday. Which was
They
Sunday.
started it off?
They started it on a Sunday.
On a Sunday?
So that's the start of the week.
I don't know. According to Shark Week rules.
Yeah.
Alright, so sharks. I think some sharks know.
Just a few. Like, you
Just a
think,
few.
like, higher up sharks? Is there a higher... Oh, there's a joke there.
What is it? Higher up sharks?
Yeah, it's like a higher sharky. There we go. I knew it was there. My brain was like, Tim, you can't screw this up.
This is your one shot. Don't miss it.
It was totally worth the pause because I knew it was there. It was right there. My brain was like, Tim.
I love the build-up. There's something here. I can feel
I
it.
know it. Yes, so higher up sharks going up the higher sharky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the that's how they pick which ones they audition to be on Shark Week or something. I don't know what I'm saying, dude. I don't know.
That's great too. So you think sharks try for Shark Week? You think
Yeah.
like there are certain ones that are like, this is my year.
There's
This is when
definitely-
I'll be in the documentary of sharks.
Yeah.
Are they vicious?
Yeah. It's SAG, the Sharks Actors Guild.
That's
Guild.
I get it because they
Guild.
breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Guild.
Yeah.
So I think they do know. But
Thanks for just continuing.
Yeah. But I think they think it's a different time. Because they had to go through, the humans had to go and film all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I bet they obviously do it over time, but there's probably like a concentrated amount in a certain amount of time, because they're like, this is how long we have to edit, this is how long we have to film. So
So
sharks,
you think every year the sharks are like, here we go again.
here comes Shark Week. But Shark Week for them is like, in November or some
Right.
stupid day they film it.
Some stupid shark month
Yes, exactly.
that we don't even have.
But right now, I don't think they know it's Shark Week.
I don't feel good.
Well, it's too late now. There's no way we could stop the podcast.
We're not stopping. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. They like glossed over.
Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna
Be
I'm
sick.
tired. No, I don't think I'm gonna be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! All right.
So to answer the question, no, I don't think sharks know it's Shark Week. I'd
mean,
like to believe that,
yeah.
but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
In your thought?
I think sharks are sharks
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost.
Yes, that's a good.
And
Lesson.
I would like to be on the record saying that
Yeah, you're on the record. You're being recorded right now in a live studio audience.
Michael Phelps
Uh-huh.
drugged those sharks. I rest my case.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks. When the truth comes out, remember the keep up. We were keeping up. So let's go into... Do you have television?
Oof.
What do you think for 20
Wait,
minutes?
do you?
No.
I have a thing that I could talk about, but I don't think I want to. So let's give it. What was that face you made?
Well, because the noise of the wire flopping sounded
yeah.
like the weirdest fart ever.
It wasn't though.
Yeah. I have movies.
For sure, movies. We have to go.
This is going to be a real long podcast.
We have to go to
people.
movies. Yeah, let's get television. Movies.
Okay.
Movies.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Are we in movies or television?
We're in movies.
Okay.
I said skip television.
My phone won't open, so this is just going to be the
Why
rest
does
of
your
movies.
phone never work?
Here we go. Because I have freaking things on my fingers.
Oh. friggin' things.
All right. So, do you want to start first in movies?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the dopest announcement ever in history.
All right. This is the best part of the video when we're both on our phones.
I'm not on my phone.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it turned off.
Okay.
All right, big announcement.
Yes.
For years, we have waited.
Okay, I think it's what I pulled up right here.
No, that's different.
Okay.
But along similar lines.
Yes. What have you been waiting for years?
A new Spawn film.
Oh!
It has been announced. Do you know about this?
Yes.
All right, it's been announced. Todd McFarlane directed.
Which, has he directed anything
He
before?
has not, that I know of, although I should look up what he had to do with the HBO series, because he might have directed some of those episodes.
All right, well, you do that. I'll look him up.
But I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
He has been working on the screenplay for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The most exciting thing... Oh, shoot. I should have looked up how to pronounce it.
What?
Is it Blumhouse or Bloomhouse?
Bloomhouse.
All right, Bloomhouse is going to be responsible for the new Spawn film, which has been spoken of as more of a horror-bent film than a superhero film.
Okay.
I'm so stoked. Blumhouse is responsible for Sinister, Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like the list is insane. I was looking at the list the other day, and
Split?
Yeah, Split. Just definitely leaders in horror production. So I'm super stoked because I've wanted. Is there anything listed?
No, he directed a few music videos. 2 animated ones, one for Pearl Jam and the other one for Disturbed.
Okay.
And then 2 Korn music videos, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, he did on a Leash, I think.
But he's been a producer and a writer, obviously, for a bunch of things. Spawn, Ultimate Spider-Man, pretty much anything Spawn-related pops up here, so.
Okay. Yeah, so he's writing and directing this upcoming one.
Mm-hmm. Writing and directing. That's cool. Did they say anything about what the story is going to be based off of? They go an origin route again?
Gotten just like very little bits of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not even story really, just kind of mood. And they're just saying it's going to be very dark. They want it to be more of a horror than a superhero film.
And that seems more fitting for Spawn just because it always has to do with like hell and all these places. So.
And it's not just like going to be a big action piece. It's going to be focused way more on the darker parts of the story and of the character. So I'm super stoked on that.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. The movie I saw when I was younger, and I don't remember it at all. It's on Netflix right now.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna
watch
reminisce and watch that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, my words.
It's okay. It's slowly eating our brains away anyways. So yeah, that's exciting, and that's kind of coming out of Comic-Con that's going on last week. That went on all last week. I don't know if it's still going on anymore.
Not by the time this is out.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's funny, this year with Comic-Con, I didn't really follow it as much as I usually do.
Yeah, I was seeing announcements like all week.
Yeah, like left and right, which is a lot of what I'm going to talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
But it, I don't know why I didn't follow it as much. Maybe it just, I feel like it wasn't as, maybe televised. Like generally, and maybe it was, I didn't even see it anywhere, but it's like on Sci-Fi and Spike, and they always have their own like Comic-Con day, and then they do all this stuff. But mostly like YouTube does a lot of stuff, and it was probably all there. I just didn't look for it personally. But, because of that, there has been a crap ton of announcements just for all over the place, you know. So I just kind of go through the list, I guess. I have a list of stuff. So first and foremost, Marvel had a huge, awesome, fantastic panel.
Of course.
And they showed footage for, or was this a D23? Where they showed footage for Infinity War. That was at D23.
No, I think yeah, you're right. I think that's where it leaked originally.
Okay.
I don't know. You're bringing this.
I know. I had the notes because they had all these stuff they were
Come on, Tim!
But maybe I was getting my stories mixed up because, I think they showed that at D23, the Thanos, or not Thanos, well, Thanos and Infinity War. So I'm going to skip over that because I think my notes are wrong.
I forget where it leaked from, but it's definitely, it's out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll jump over to the DC side of things because they had a very promising showcase, I should say.
Yeah.
We'll start with the films. They announced, obviously, Wonder Woman 2.
Yes.
They have a title for the new Batman movie,
The
Batman.
Oh, I thought we already knew that.
No, it was just like untitled Batman.
Okay, yeah.
They showed off some footage, new footage for Justice League. Looks awesome. I'm a little happier or more excited about it, just from reading about the footage and stuff. But still, meh.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but on the fence.
Okay.
Wonder Woman was great, but I think one of the most exciting things, at least for us, they announced a 30 film anniversary collection for all the DC animated movies.
I can't believe it's real.
Yeah, up to the most recent one that came out, Batman and Harley Quinn. Yeah, I don't know if it's versus or and, but
I think it's just and.
I could read the whole list, but honestly, you guys should just look it up because it's ridiculous.
So
but
good.
some notable ones: Superman Doomsday, which I guess that started it all. I thought it was another one, but
no, I think it's that, and then like New Frontier.
Yeah, that was the next one. Batman Year One, that's really good. Dark Knight Returns.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. All the newer Justice League, so Throne of Atlantis, Justice League War. Flashpoint, yep. Killing Joke, controversial, still interesting to have in there. And then Batman and Harley Quinn.
Why is that controversial?
Just people were all over the place with it. Look, they were like, not happy with it.
Oh, whether it's good or not?
Yeah, not that it's in there, but on top of that, they have 5 shorts. Which is like, do you remember that it was the Superman Shazam movie?
I loved that.
Those are 3 shorts in it, so that is its own thing. It won't be a movie on here; it's in a separate section with shorts. And the other ones, well, they show the Spectre, which I think that was part of that one. Green Arrow, that was part of the Shazam.
Yep.
Jonah Hex was part of Shazam.
I don't know if Jonah Hex was.
Catwoman. It's just called Catwoman. I don't know that one. And then the other one, Superman Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, which I guess. So did that have 4 shorts? I thought it only had 3. But I remember the Green Arrow one, Jonah Hex, Spectre.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
It's weird. But anyways, on top of that, a bunch of special features, obviously, which is great.
Now, do we have a release date or a price point yet?
I do not see a price point, and as far as release dates... It's not saying anything in this article. Definitely. Oh, there it is. News items coming November 7th to Blu-ray.
November
7th. Yeah. It is. And exclusive collectible items coming with it too. So it's going to be pricey.
Oh man.
I'm pretty confident it's going to be el expenso.
What's your prediction? Like $200?
I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Give or take.
It's 30 movies.
It is 30 movies.
And they're great. If you're unfamiliar with the DC animated catalog, they're like unbelievable. And this is something I've wanted for so long. And now that it's coming out, it's probably going to be limited release. And it's like the Avengers sets, man. It's always like this big thing for me to try to get them.
It's hard though, because it's like, all right, this is the definitive 30 film set, but then there's going to be more movies over time.
There will be more, right.
But you can't ever wait, because what if they never stop? Right. What if you end up dying?
Well, what's interesting now is, like, for me, I've held off every, few years for the Marvel box sets. And now it's even easier to watch them in between releases because everything's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, with the Disney Netflix deal, they show up. What just showed up the other day that I was wicked shocked? Oh, Rogue One is on Netflix.
Rogue One's on there. Doctor Strange is on there.
Yeah.
And just the cycles for films are so quick now that it's like I can watch them. And Civil War was on there pretty quickly. I mean, everything's on there. So this actually was the hardest run of Marvel films for me to wait, because I was like, they've been the best.
Yeah.
Like, I want so badly to buy Civil War and Doctor Strange and all those. Guardians 2.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to hold out.
How many more movies do you have to wait for?
I don't know. I don't know when Wave 3 would be. I mean, what have we got so far in this?
Jeez.
The first one of 3 was... Or what was the last one in the second box set? Ant-Man?
Ant-Man. And then...
What came out after Ant-Man?
I have to look up this. Well, there's so many movies at this point. I don't even know what the order
I know.
is.
Maybe we haven't gotten that many yet. Was Civil War like the first of...
Yeah, that's not part of your set, is it?
No.
So I guess so.
So we got Ultron, Ant-Man, and then Civil War?
Yeah. Yeah, which a lot of people thought was weird, because they're like, oh my god, we're getting another Avengers movie?
Yeah,
because
pretty
that's
much.
hands down is what that movie is.
So that's Civil War,
Civil War, and then Doctor Strange was after that, wasn't it?
Doctor Strange, Guardians 2.
Guardians 2.
We just had Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. I'm just looking through all of them right now. Yeah, I think...
Wow. Yeah, so
definitively, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2.
Guardians 2, Spider-Man. And then we're getting Thor. Black Panther. That's February. Mm-hmm. And then I think...
And then Infinity War, right? 2018 is Infinity War.
So my guess is after that, we're going to get...
Or do we have to wait for the second part? Well, because then at that point we're going to have... Well, what I've heard is Phase 4... Oh my god, this is going to be a huge one. Because Phase 4 starts with Spider-Man Homecoming 2, which isn't coming out until 2019.
When does Infinity War 2 come out?
2018, I believe.
They both come out the same year?
It hasn't been... It doesn't have an official title. 2019. But Miss Marvel, isn't that coming out?
Because that would be 6...
Is that it? Miss Marvel? Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel. Yeah. Hang on. Civil War, Strange, Guardians,
Captain Marvel's 2019.
Spider-Man, Thor. Oh, so it'd be 7. Thor, Black Panther, then Infinity War. That'd be 7.
7?
Each one, I think, so far has had 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Well, we were just seeing. So, what was that leading off of, though?
I don't know. What the heck? Oh, the DC animated films.
Yes.
That box set's going to be
insane. I think it's a Marvel.
Because we're talking box sets and stuff like that. But I'm probably going to try to buy that collection.
Oh, I can't wait. To me, I don't have any. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, that's my thing. I have Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And that might be it.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of the Batman ones, but that's why, to me, it's worth it. You know, it's like... It's hard when they put out video game special editions or collections and you already bought them all individually. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But with something like this, it's like, I don't have any of them.
Right, exactly. You could, and on the plus, another plus to it is, I bet it's going to bring down the price of all the other ones.
That's true.
Because everyone's like, oh, it's got this big set. I don't know how limited it's going to be.
I don't know either. But one.
Yeah, me too.
I got to.
So we had to fight each other for it.
Keep me posted if you see it.
Yes, yeah, November 7th, so.
Because if we do have to fight...
I'll get it. And you can just stare at it.
You'll be like, I just ordered it, they're out of stock.
Yeah, I got the last one. So the next big announcement, at least to me, Nickelodeon had their Comic-Con panel. Holy hot bananas. Crazy. So they showed off, there were about 3 minutes of footage for the new Rocko's Modern Life TV special, and the new Hey Arnold Jungle movie. Which everyone keeps saying it's going to be in theaters. I don't know if Nickelodeon has said if it's going to be in theaters, but if it's in theaters, I'll be so excited. Anyway, so they showed off 3 minutes of both of those, and oh my.
So Rocko was great.
Yes.
I mean, it was just so funny. It was cracking me up. It opens up and they're like, I don't think we're in the 90s anymore. And then them responding to reacting to phones, and going to coffee shops, and it is. I know one of the first things
they do is go to. I don't know. It's a Starbucks knockoff.
Yeah, Buzzbucks.
Yeah, Buzzbucks. And they go and get coffee, and they're right across the street
from each other.
It's just all these subtle jokes that are thrown in there.
Good. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend looking it up.
Yeah.
And then Hey Arnold to You is the holy grail.
Yeah, that's the epitome. That's like Firefly coming back for people. It's seriously the story with Hey Arnold, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically the show ended off on a huge cliffhanger. And what they initially were going to do was release the movie, the first movie that came out, which did come out, but that was supposed to be a TV movie, and then the movie we're getting now, the Jungle movie, is supposed to come out. But instead, what they did was finish the series. They weren't intending to finish, but it got canceled. But then they released the movie that was going to be a TV movie into theaters to get enough money to do the Jungle movie.
Okay.
But because it didn't do well in theaters, the big movie, the first movie that came out, Jungle movie, just got scrapped. They were
rough.
And that was right at the point where cartoons were starting to transition into more action-packed, more 3D animated. It was right at the tail end, 2004, 2005.
Okay, yeah.
So you could see the shift of cartoons and stuff.
The era of bad CG.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, reboot is iffy. It had bad CG, but it's good. That's its own kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying in movies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you were saying cartoons were transitioning?
Yeah, like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon were going towards more like anime, more action-focused cartoons, not like Hey Arnold, not like the goofy, like super, I don't know, wacky.
More like classic animation.
Yeah, exactly. So because of that, Hey Arnold just got kind of pushed in the dust. And for years they've been hinting, they're like, we had this whole movie set up, we have, all the voice actors are back for, or a good chunk of the voice actors are back for it, and we're ready, we just need Nickelodeon to give us the okay. So last year Nickelodeon was like, we're going to have this big renaissance of older Nickelodeon cartoons coming back, and they announced this huge list of like, they want to do a big multi-universe crossover movie where it's got Ren and Stimpy, Cat Dog, Rugrats, and they're all in the same movie. Hey Arnold, On top of that, they announced Legends of the Hidden Temple was coming back in just a TV movie. That came back. I never saw it.
Oh, that's right.
That was last year.
It was a movie?
Yeah. I don't know. I heard it did all right. People were happy about it. So, and now we have Hey Arnold and Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah.
And so it was so incredible.
Doug hasn't made a return of any sort yet?
I think the closest we got was the Doug movie.
Okay.
After the show was canceled, they had the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually have heard nothing about that.
I feel like that one would be...
That one would be real big.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think so.
I think it was one of their biggest ones.
Yeah.
I also, I found I don't know where it came from. The other day I found a little Daggett figure from
Oh my
Beavers.
God. Yeah, it's from one of those like twist coin up.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, it might have been mine because I had one.
Or Jazz had it.
Oh yeah, I think I gave it to him.
Oh, okay, so he's playing with it. I was like, there's no way you know what that is. So
what is this thing you
so
have?
funny. I was like, where'd you get a Daggett? Like, dude, I loved Angry Beavers.
Yeah, Angry Beavers was great. And one of the big concerns about Rocko's Modern Life... Did I spit on you? I'm sorry.
No, it felt like something was crawling on me.
Oh, it's probably stuff.
Also, I was checking my invisible watch.
Yeah, what time is it, Brett? But one of the big concerns with Rocko's is that with the modern times, would it not be nearly as good because they can't do like the type of jokes they did back in the day.
Yeah.
Like just various wacky things like hidden, all those secret like adult jokes and stuff. But with this, what we've seen so far, with that short like 3-minute, I keep wanting to call it trailer, but it's not. It's like a footage teaser, I guess. It totally like there are just jokes that will be entertaining for kids, but like the Starbucks joke, kids won't get that.
Right.
But that's totally towards adults. And
they'll see them running back and forth and drinking something fast.
Yeah, and that's hilarious to them. And to us, we're like, oh, it's Starbucks, and look how close they are to each other. So I think they totally hit the humor great. Like with all the other things, the iPhones. It's
gonna be a tough thing to juggle. But
yeah. And it sounds like all the voice actors are back.
Juggle, but
shut up. What the heck?
Yeah. It's honestly, it felt weird watching it and hearing the voices.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long.
20 years? I don't know. I really don't know how long it's been.
I don't know, but it was very strange. Like, it was this weird sensation to see and hear that.
Yeah.
It was just very weird.
To see new content from something that's been gone for so long.
Yeah, so strange. And
that was the same exact thing with Hey Arnold. They had, I think they said there was like 18 voice actors from the show that came back.
Wow.
And obviously some of them got older, so they had to be replaced because their voices just changed as they got older, hit puberty or whatever. But Arnold, I think, sounds fantastic. I don't know if it's the same guy. I didn't look into that. But it sounded so much like him that whether or not it's the guy, I don't even want to know at this point.
Hey, yeah, right.
But everyone else sounds like great. And it's so happy because that was one of my big nervous things. I'm like, it's been so long. Why, how different are their voices going to be? Am I going to be able to watch it because they're so different?
Right.
But they nailed it. Nailed it right on the head.
Yeah, it sounds so great. It's very exciting.
That's all I can say is I'm just so excited. And Hey Arnold is such a special place. That's like my, in a sense, like my base for my morality is Arnold. Because he wants to help everybody. He's just such a good guy. Everyone loves him, and he just wants to be there to help. And I'm like, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
I aspire to be like Arnold.
Arnold, you could have worse role models.
Yeah, I could.
Arnold.
Like you.
Right.
Yeah.
Arnold's way better.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that was really exciting for me. And there were so many other things, but
You gonna get the Nicktoons box?
Is that... Wasn't that last year, though?
I don't know, Tim.
That was cool, though. It was like a subscription box, and it had like a Chucky's t-shirt and glasses, I believe, and some Angry Beaver stuff.
The Nick box.
Okay. What else? $50.
They're sold out. So the Nicktoons box, I don't know if that's even a thing anymore. It seems like you get it and then they send one out and then you can't get it again until they do it again or something.
So was it a Comic-Con exclusive?
It's not like a subscription. Well, there's a website for it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you could order it after.
It's like...
Is it bi-monthly?
Loyalty program.
Sold out. Wow, Helga.
We are sold out. Sign up below for updates. Yeah, I don't really know how it works, man.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty program. I don't know. This isn't a commercial. Sponsor us, Nickelodeon.
Oh, I'd love that.
You know what I mean?
Or Hey Arnold. Anybody who works there, I'll do it. All right, I'm all set of movies.
I had Spawn. I think that's it for me. Although, what did we watch? Oh, never mind. That was a TV show that I'm not going to talk about yet. Games?
Yeah, games.
Okay.
Video games.
Hey, welcome to games.
Dude, alright. Have you played Everwing?
They won't stop sending me messages.
Have you played it yet?
Well, yeah, because you made me.
How'd you do?
Sucky.
You suck.
I hate the game.
You're so bad.
It's so bad.
I bought a new Fairy Warrior Princess.
With real money?
No!
Okay.
Come on, man.
I dislike this game majorly.
Yo, it is so...
Major League?
No, it is so... What? You said a new personal best?
Yeah, I played it earlier.
Today?
Well, because they sent me a message.
I didn't even do it that time.
So you're going to play it right now?
Dude, I'm going to play
is
it
this
right
a
now.
Let's Play?
Look, this is what I love about it. You just start it up. Boom, drag to move. Here we go.
No one can even
Oh,
see this.
crushing. That's fine. Look at this. Look at my new Fairy Warrior.
Wow, that's just a magic.
She's insane. She's crushing so hard right now.
I'm really upset you're doing this on
I got the gem. I got the gem.
Did you? Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what's going to happen. I got the gem.
What if
Shoot the
this
beast.
What if this is your best
Shoot
run
the beast.
ever right
Shoot
now?
the beast.
The bees?
The beast.
So the point of this game is you play as a fairy princess.
I don't know if it's a princess. That might be a stereotype that I'm not trying to propagate. I'm just saying.
So you play as this, like...
She's a warrior for sure.
A fairy warrior. And
a warrior for sure.
And basically what it is, it's a shooter. Think like Galaga, but it automatically shoots for you, and you drag your character back and forth across the screen.
Yeah. It's very simple. Whoa!
It's got a big Facebook presence where they try to get you to beat your friends, and it'll automatically send messages to the friends you beat.
Which is pretty fun.
It's a cool concept.
Although...
But I dislike mobile games very much.
That's fine, but...
As a gamer, I feel like they're an embarrassment to all others.
See,
there are a lot of good ones out there. I won't knock them all.
You just did. I felt like that for a little while, but this one's pretty fun.
No, this is one of those ones that you play for such a long time, and then you get to a certain point where it's like, well, I guess I'll pay the $5 because I've already invested 100
I'm not paying
hours.
anything, dude. That's the cool thing. I've already upgraded a bunch of stuff, and I don't pay nothing.
Yeah, until you get to a boss you can't beat, and then you're like, oh, this game sucks.
But I feel like it's more like one of those games that you just play when you have a couple minutes, and then you get all the stuff you gotta get.
I see it as like a time sink,
Look,
though.
I just upgraded.
Which I guess that's all games, but...
And that's what a video game... But, see, this game is one I don't have to get too invested in. That's what I like about it.
I don't feel like I'm as rewarded playing it, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get that. I have other games that I play for that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is just, it's pretty fun. And it's just one of those, like, it definitely is a time suck, or like, I guess...
He finally died, I'm so happy.
That was a good one, though.
That was a good one.
Oh! 3% away from leveling up. That's great.
Wow.
Anyway, it
What
definitely is
a
a waster of times. But to me, or you can look at it as a filler of times.
Yes, there is. It's like a cup half empty, cup half full.
I'm saying my cup is half full of fairy warriors,
and mine's half empty of anything else.
And you get 2 pet dragons.
Yeah, what are their names?
You start with no pet dragons, then you get one named
I did get a pet
Sprinky.
dragon early.
Were you excited about it?
No.
A little bit though.
No.
You're a liar.
No, because it's a weak. It's
not weak.
I want a gigantic
the whole time.
dragon.
You gotta upgrade them.
Well, I'll upgrade them, but I want to put the time.
You gotta upgrade them.
Dude, when I have Super Hot VR to play, ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't know what that is. Tell me about what that is.
Okay, we're getting into it. Super Hot VR. Hands down, one of the greatest VR experiences I've ever had.
Really?
Yes, for sure. So the premise of Super Hot is it's a game where time only moves when you move. And it's a first-person shooter / melee type game.
Okay.
And basically you get thrown into these situations where there's these red guys coming towards you either with guns or melee weapons.
Okay.
And you have to use the environment to either shoot guns, throw guns, use swords or nunchucks or whatever weapons available, glasses, whatever, and you can throw them or hit people with them. You can melee. So it's just like, have you seen John Wick?
I have not.
All right, well, just think like the most amazing action movie you've ever seen.
Okay.
And you get to be the action star. But you can control how fast it goes. So if you play like the normal version of the game, if you walk left or right, time's moving. If you look left or right, time moves a little bit. So you can be like, oh, I want to do this real fast, and you walk and beat up the guys real fast. Or you go in slow motion and walk just a little bit, and then you can time your shots. So I'll have you play the VR game because the movement in that is how you move in real life. So you have to dodge bullets in real life, and well, in VR, in real life, you have to do the movements. But if you ever wanted to feel like an action star, this is the game to do it.
That sounds amazing.
But I first of all, there's a trophy in it to burn 1,000 calories while playing the game. I'm pretty sure I burned that like 10 times over. Biggest sweat, like the biggest workout I've ever had playing a game, and I love it. I can't stop playing it. Yesterday I got it. I was hanging out with my friend Brandon. We played it for 4.5 hours straight, just going back and forth, beating the levels. Then we played it today from 1 till you showed up. 4, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just can't get enough. After we finish all this, I'm going to go right back to it.
Oh, man.
It is so much fun.
I'm excited.
And I'll put gameplay here and stuff. It's something that it just needs to be experienced.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
So you think it's the best one you played so far?
Yeah, hands down. Like, and it's very good tracking wise. Like a lot of the times, VR is very finicky, where like it just has a hard time figuring you out.
Sure.
This one for me has worked a lot more than it has not worked. There are moments where the hands like fly away, and it sucks because you're fighting a bunch of guys and your hands are gone. So you're like, well, I guess I'm dead. But more often than not, it works, which is exciting.
That sounds like it would be the goal.
And the amount of content's awesome. You have a full campaign, which we beat. That took about 6 hours or so.
Okay.
I think there's like 19 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And they get more challenging, obviously. But after you beat that, you unlock. There's endless mode, where you pick one of 6 stages, and you can go and kill guys and kill as many as you can. They have a bunch of. There's like a no death mode, a no gun mode, there's a hardcore mode, which like. Slow motion is basically non-existent. Like, it's there, but when you move, it's like much quicker than it should be.
Yeah.
So then there you have to actually do fights real fast. So,
okay.
But like I said, if you got a VR helmet or if you're interested in VR, this is the game to start with.
This is the one.
Yeah. Hands down, awesome. And that's that.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that VR isn't a total waste of tech.
Yes, and it has been kind of dry for a while, I think, in the VR realm.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're still in, like, the building stages.
Yeah,
like,
there's no, like...
It's relatively early in the VR.
Yeah, there's no, like, killer app that everybody wants to play on it. This, I think, is totally...
Yeah.
This sold me.
This is the one.
Yeah, which I was already sold before, but it, like, doubly sold me.
Yeah.
Reassured that
You've been sold since...
Before I even had it.
Yes.
Because it's VR, it's the future.
Yeah.
So I'm going to circle back to Comic-Con a little bit, but it's video game related. Telltale had a panel.
Ooh, I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, nice. So they announced their new games they're working on.
Alright, what do we got?
Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Ooh.
Very exciting. I wasn't very sure if we'd get a Season 2.
Yeah.
Not how the season ended, like, not relevant to that, just because it's kind of weird for Telltale.
To do a second one?
Yeah, to do just
for
like...
that.
Yeah, like...
There's a lot in that world, though.
Did you finish that?
Nope.
Okay, so I won't say anything else
Please
other than...
don't.
Yeah, but it was... I'm very excited that they're doing a second season. Yeah. They also announced the final season for the Walking Dead game.
Really?
Season 4. You play as Clementine again.
Okay.
Because the third one you did not. Third one was pretty cool. Iffy. Definitely not as good as the first one. Nothing has surpassed that yet.
Yeah, oh, dude. That game was unbelievable.
That was a journey.
Yeah, it was.
So it's bittersweet, but I think, after playing Season 3, I'm like, okay, I hope the next one's the last one, just so they can end off the story on a good or bad note, depending on how it goes.
Right.
And they also... Oh, yeah, and that reminds me, who's the writer of Walking Dead?
Robert Kirkman.
Kirkman. He announced that he is ending the Walking Dead comic series.
Oh.
He said he's not entirely sure like what number definitively, but he said he's winding down, he's getting towards the end, and I think he said this year he wants to finish it, or next year.
No way.
Yeah.
Man, that means I need to catch up.
Well, it definitely gives you that opportunity to catch up, because once it's finished, then there's nothing.
Oh, snap.
So, but he said he has the ending in mind. He hasn't written it down yet, but he's like, I know how this is going to end, and he's like, I'm pretty sure we're close to that moment. So
that's crazy.
That is crazy. How many issues are we at right now?
I have no idea.
Close to 200, right?
It's got to be. I mean,
they said he was working on it for 14 years, I think. Freaking EverQuest. What's it called?
Everwing.
I keep calling it EverQuest, but that's a different like PC RPG. You're looking it up right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to do like a Fable route and end it like on an even 200 or whatever. Or whatever issue Fable ended on.
150.
150, yeah. So just like a flat, even number.
Now, I will say, the first headline that comes up is Robert Kirkman is not ending the Walking Dead comic after all.
Oh my god. So, this is clear. Yeah, because I read this on Friday and wrote it down, so. What does he say?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to just read this article in the middle of the podcast.
Right.
So...
it's hard to find the specific details, so maybe I'm wrong on that, because...
Nerdist.com just posted this 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Kirkman is not ending the Walking Dead comic after all is the headline. I'm going to read it after we're done recording.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can go read it as well.
We'll see if Tim was truly wrong.
Let's see.
I was trusting IGN. They're like, Robert
Well,
Kirkman
he talks about it in there. It might be saying that he still is. I don't know. I just don't want to stop and read it right now.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I was back on Telltale. So the last thing they announced was Batman Season 2.
Oh, sweet.
So the first season was really cool.
Yeah.
The only issue, and I keep talking about it with Telltale, is the engine is getting dated.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
I feel like, they got to update it at some point.
Oh, yeah, and they said they did for the jump to the new generation. Graphically, they've definitely increased, but just, like, technically, they haven't been impressive, you know, very janky, jittery. Like, even they have the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale. Yeah. That's the newest one they're working on right now, and that was still kind of jumping all over the place. So, I don't know. But I'll still get them all, still play them all, because they're great stories. And I love the choice, the choices you have.
They're very good at what they do.
So that was real cool. And the only other thing I've been playing is Splatoon 2.
Oh, how is it?
Really good.
Yeah?
I never played the first one, but this is Nintendo's attempt at, like, online multiplayer shooter.
Okay.
The idea of the game is you play as, I don't know the names, I'm so bad. Because I never played the first one.
Yeah.
Because I think it was I was too late when I actually got interested into it.
Okay.
But you play as these, like, squid people, and then there's the evil people that are, like, Octa something.
Interesting.
There's like the Squid Kids and then the Octa somethings. I don't remember their names. But basically, that's the universe they set up, because I guess there's a lot more to this game than I thought initially, because I thought it was like strictly multiplayer.
Yeah.
But there is a whole campaign. They have another mode called Salmon Run, and it's Horde mode.
Oh, cool.
But Nintendo, I don't know how they do it, but that is just a magical Horde mode. It's just a load of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's challenging, but definitely not impossible. And it's, I think it's just all about the gameplay.
Is that an online? Like
you can play it local or online.
How have you been playing?
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have one of my best win streaks. I won 8 games in a row online. Whoa. It was really good. And then I lost, so I was like, I hate this game. But overall, the game looks amazing. You know, it's on the Switch, so you can, obviously take it out and do it portably and all that stuff. But graphically it looks awesome. Very vibrant colors. Gameplay's really cool. The variety of weapons make it seem like it's right on par with like Call of Duty and other like shooters. Yeah, and it's funny because it's such a drastic difference between all those. But
it's like super cartoony.
Yeah, it's goofy. It's just a really fun game. But it totally can fit well in any other esports games.
That's really cool.
It is cool, and I'm glad Nintendo's kind of taken that route. That being said, the way they implement online. Like, if I were to play with friends, incredibly complicated. There's no voice chat on the system. You have to download an app on your phone and talk to them through your phone using Wi-Fi. Yeah. And like playing online, you can't talk to anybody because everyone has to have the app, and I think you all have to be friends. So there's no communication. And and that's a game I think you need communication because the premise is not to get the most kills, it's to cover the map in the most paint. Because obviously the idea of the game is you have paintball guns basically. Okay. So all the matches, there's no like get the most, no team deathmatch, it's cover the map in paint. So if you don't know the left side has only green, like say you're a pink team and you're fighting green,
right?
The left side's covered in green, there's no way to tell your friends, hey, I need help over here because they're all focused on the right side, making it all pink.
Right.
So it's a game that really needs voice communication, but they haven't implemented a way to do it.
That seems like poor planning.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. But I want to play with people on Nintendo because I feel like they're more fun people as opposed to like people in Call of Duty that like, maybe have more fun with it because it's more of a goofy thing.
That's kind of a fair assumption.
But yeah, the campaign's really cool. It's varied in the type of things you do. You fight bosses. You sometimes just have to survive. Sometimes you have to go through a platforming level. So in typical Nintendo fashion, it's a blast to play. And I suggest anybody who has a Switch get it because it's awesome.
I like that they have some newer characters and a newer property.
Yeah, exactly. The first one came out, and me personally, I skipped it mostly because I thought it was just multiplayer focused. And I like that, but at the time, I didn't want to spend money on any more Wii U games.
Yeah.
Just because the system's kind of going away and stuff.
Yeah, it was on its way out.
So I do regret it, though, because Splatoon 2 is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's some story elements that, like knowing what the characters are, the Squid Kids and the Octo whatever. There are some characters that are missing that were from the first game, but they show up in story mode, and it's like, oh, it's a grand reveal. I have no idea who the person is, so I'm meh. But there is a campaign in the first game, too, so I might get it and go back and go through it, just for that. But, yeah, like I said, it's a spectacular game. The variety of weapons, gameplay, it's beautiful. They have amiibo support. Which is cool. You get different armor sets as Samurai. I don't remember the other two.
Do you have any Splatoon amiibos?
Yes. Yeah, remember how I had that older Splatoon 3 pack?
Yeah.
And then they released 8 new amiibos for the game. They're just different variations, colors of the squids and Squid Kids and stuff.
That's cool.
And you get to design your own character, which is cool.
Nice.
A lot of it focuses on like the looks. You can customize. You can get new shirts and like pants and weapons and all that stuff. So there's a lot to this game.
Sweet.
And like I said, totally worth getting.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm having it.
It's like, what do you have?
Yeah. I think that's all I have in games. That's
Yeah.
really all I've been playing. What about you? Anything else?
Nothing in games, man. Just been blasting away on Everwing.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed the other day.
Assassin's Creed
Chronicles.
Oh yes.
China.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't set up my Xbox in a hot minute, and I set it up and I sat down.
You downloaded the new games, by the way?
Yes, I downloaded everything. Mm-hmm. It was all attached to my account. I haven't had it set up for a while, but I had the games attached to my account, so I downloaded them all. But I was just like, I'm going to put on whatever the last game I played was. It was Assassin's Creed. Felt good to sit down and play for a little bit. That game's pretty fun. And that's it. But I haven't played anything new, and I'm hoping to this week, but I haven't yet.
I hope so, too. I've been getting an itch to play Evil Within again, because the second one's coming out.
Dude, I know. And I'm right in the middle of it.
And I think all I had to do was beat it without using any green gel. You have to go through the game like base level, basically.
Crazy.
But you can play it on easy, so. But yeah, since I've been seeing like trailers and gameplay and stuff, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Evil Within.
Yeah, I need to fire it back up. It's like we were saying with. Well, that was the dog helicoptering.
Yeah.
It's like we were saying with TV shows, where like if you want to watch something, you need to just start it. Like I haven't played the game in a while, so I was like, I'm at that thing where I need to just start it up again, so I get back into it. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I didn't do it yet, so
that's okay. I'm excited that you're excited about doing it.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
What
do you want to go into?
I'm like hesitant. There's one thing we could go into, but I don't know if
you can do it and just make it quick.
Alright, let's go into music for a minute.
Okay.
What are you listening to?
Alright, so we went to music to talk about Sonic music, right?
In my head, I should leave like a long enough time for you to just play the music, but that's not how that works.
Yeah, not at all. You just left it awkwardly quiet.
Sorry. No, we're going to talk about something a lot sadder than that.
I wanted it to not be sad. But...
I know, I'm sorry. And we won't talk about it for too long because it makes me real sad and it's been sitting with me all week. But this past Thursday, anyone who, whether you are a fan of the band or not, you've probably heard, Chester Bennington from Linkin Park committed suicide on Thursday. And so it's just been like all over the place.
It's been such a weird thing because people that I assume don't even like that type of music have been like, Linkin Park has been such a big thing in my life. Like, that's what people are writing about.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think just collectively, all of us growing up have heard Linkin Park at some point.
Yeah, they were just around. They were so huge. And, like, I mean, it's when something like this happens, people just reflect on the band and the artist, and it's like it was very sudden, and everyone is going back and listening and like to old stuff. And I literally remember buying their first record. I remember where I was, and I bought it with another album, and I remember going home and listening to it all the way through. And I've probably listened to it thousands of times in my life. Like, I've listened to that record so many times, and just within the past like couple years, they had put out so many albums that I hadn't heard, so I went back and I was like, man, I haven't listened to Linkin Park forever. I don't even know what they sound like anymore. And it's just been kind of like a crazy thing to see everyone kind of react to it, and it's just super sad. It's really, really sad, and I'm probably going to cut this out. I don't know. I guess there's nothing to talk about, really.
Why?
I don't know, because, like, it seems weird to, like, do a review on, like, their last album, you know what I mean?
Is that the direction you wanted to go with it? Like, just
I don't know, I was kind of thinking. Cause,
I mean, well, we've talked about people passing away on the podcast before.
It's true. That's true.
And I think this is something that is worth talking about because it's such a big impact on everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Whether or not you were into Linkin Park, whether or not you were even music. Like, you know me, I'm terrible with music, but Linkin Park, regardless, had a relevant impact on my life.
Right,
but if you don't feel comfortable talking about it...
No, I do. I don't know. It's just so, like... it feels weird because it was so recent, and there's this weird thing with, like, celebrities where obviously I didn't know the guy, and I don't know anybody, but there's this thing for me, I was talking to Rachel about this the other day, where, like, the more I find out about it, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, because it was like, there's these interviews coming out from him, like, even this year, where he's talking about how he has a hard time, like, dealing with life, and if he's left by himself and he's not, like, doing something with someone, or, writing music, being a husband, being a father, like, if he's by himself, he just gets all wrapped up in his head, and, like, he just can't think straight, and he just has a hard time. And after hearing some of those things, and then going back and listening to, I literally listened to all of their albums this week, or within the past few days. Yeah. And there's, like, a lot of, it's, like, seems so obvious. A lot of the lyrics are just so, like, I'm covered in fear and worry, and
so it's like, in a sense, it's a cry for help, but not and that's the issue with depression, because people need this help or want this help, but they're too afraid to ask for it, and it's also on their friends and family because they don't notice it.
It's like, and it's a weird thing because it's like the interview that they showed of him, and in hindsight it seems obvious, but like everyone around him is saying how, like, I was just talking to him and he was so happy, and we were just talking about our plans for the future and all this stuff, and it's just like, it's so hard, man. Like, so their last record, One More Light, came out this year. It was recently. I don't have the date on hand, but it was very recently. And the album is like, it's probably 3-4 months ago. The whole record is like, there's a ton of pain in it. I hadn't listened to it all the way through until today.
And who writes? Does he write?
He writes, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and just him, or do you?
No, it's not just him. I think he and Mike Shinoda are, I would assume, definitely the main lyricists. I don't know if any of the other dudes in the band contribute in that way, but he definitely writes, and like, there's so much pain on this album, but there's also the song "One More Light" in particular is like heartbreaking, dude. And I was listening to it today. I listened to it like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, how was this the last, like one of the last songs that he wrote? And it's just like the mind is a crazy thing, and people get into dark places, but like lyrically, it's so insane because the whole premise of the song is, you know, who cares when one more light goes out? I do. Like, that's the whole premise, is just, but it's about like, it sounds like it's about losing someone. It sounds like it's about losing someone, maybe even to suicide. And like listening to it, it's like so strange that this guy is the one who wrote it, and or maybe it just shows how hard he was trying to,
I think, and it's
hold on.
Yeah, like in a way with advice, like people can give great advice, but a lot of the times they don't follow their own advice. So
True, yeah.
So he might have, you know, obviously it was like, I know what I'm going through, and I want to be able to help all these other people who are going through what I'm going through.
Right.
And because I'm suffering, I can help you guys.
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't get the help himself, you know?
Right.
And it's unfortunate because you're saying those lyrics like show that he understands and he wants to be there for other people, but he can't bring himself to let other people help him.
Right. Yeah, like, just a few of the lyrics. The verses are the hardest, man. It's like, should have stayed, were there signs I ignored, can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep, there are things that we can have but can't keep. And then the chorus, which is, who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. And then this last verse is, the reminders pull the floor from your feet, in the kitchen, one more chair than you need, and you're angry, and you should be, it's not fair, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. So it's like, he wrote this, and it's like, man, yeah, there's so much heaviness and like sadness there.
Yeah.
But the whole, like, the real message of the song is like, I care, like, one person is worth it.
Yeah.
And this whole, like, it's just a whole tragic thing, because then you find, you know, I didn't know that he was married. I didn't know he had 6 kids, you know, and like, hearing all that stuff, it's like, man, how do you get... And the thing is, I get it, because, like, I've been in some, like, rough places emotionally and mentally within the past, like, 5 years. So I also connect on that level. So it's this dude who I admired as an artist for so long. And it's on the heels of Chris Cornell taking his own life, like, 2 months ago. Which people are talking a lot about how he and Chester were, like, really, really good friends. Chester sang at his funeral. And it seems as if he emulated his death. There are a couple articles floating around about, like, was Chester Bennington murdered? And I don't know. None of the articles had any legit sources or anything like that.
And that's the other thing. When there's, like, a celebrity death, there's so much just, like, media overflow.
Oh, it's insane.
And it makes you kind of feel bad for the guy. Like, he just, you know, it sucks that everything, his whole life is like being scrutinized, and
now it's this.
Yeah, and it's like they just, I don't know, the guy, he should just be left alone, you know?
Yeah. And it's hard too, because like I imagine, you know, his bandmates are probably in like a stupor right now.
Oh yeah.
And everyone close to him, obviously. But there are a lot of weird things, like now this is part of the band's legacy, you know, like a band who's had like probably one of the greatest careers. I mean, as far as like success goes and everything, I mean, since Hybrid Theory,
their music has just been everywhere in like so many different ways. It's been in films, it's been, you know, everyone knows their songs, like they have their popular hits, and it's just something that's like universally, I think, appreciated them as a group. So, and you're right, this is going to be stuck with them forever. You know, 10 years down the line, people are going to be like, man, Linkin Park was awesome. Sucks, you know, the lead singer killed himself, you know?
Right. It's like this is part of their story now, and that's just got to be so hard for them. And it's with social media too, it's so hard because you're seeing everyone's reactions. Like, I'm seeing his bandmates post stuff on Instagram, and it's like, this happened like from the time we're recording right now, like 4 days ago. You know what I mean? Like 5 days ago.
And you're seeing them post like pictures of like happy stuff? Are you talking about?
Yeah, well, they're posting memories. Some of them are posting like just words about like, I can't believe this.
Right.
You know, they Linkin Park released again, it's Monday. Linkin Park released an official statement today, and it's like a quote unquote letter to Chester, and it says like, you know, your wife said you were the most amazing husband, the most amazing dad, and that's the stuff that's like, the dude was only 41 years old.
Oh, that's young.
And it's like, it just sucks so bad. It sucks so badly. And I know a lot of people, like, I don't know if it's just like, I think social media has a lot to do with it. The way kids are and having like access to everyone's lives and cyberbullying and all that stuff. But I know there's like an increased documented increase of depression and suicide in America at least. And it's just like you see stuff like this happen with someone who people looked up to, and it's like, oh no, like you almost worry about like a chain reaction. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
you think other people could follow suit?
I don't know. It's just like it's such a wave of sadness, you know. And this is part of why I'm like hesitant to talk about it, because I don't know.
No,
I've seen a lot of people respond in anger, which I get that. I understand the emotion of like, man, how could you do this to your kids? How could you do this to everyone around you?
But I mean, they have no way of knowing what's going through.
Exactly. There's also like hearing him describe. I posted a video. There's a video, I think it's just on YouTube, of it says like Chester Bennington cries for help, and it's just an interview with him, but he's talking very openly about like his mental struggles, and it's like, man, and it was from February of this year, so not that long ago, and it's like you hear him talk and you're like, yeah, the dude, like he had like a darkness within him, like he had problems, you know, with life, and it wasn't easy for him. And so I also understand like the mental instability of it, and having experienced like depression, it's super oppressive. Like you're not really thinking straight, you know? So it just is all around awful, and it sucks so bad, and it's weird. Like the new record, One More Light, like I said, there's like so much pain on it. But it feels weird to say, but it is an unfortunately fitting final record. And it was widely rejected by people.
Really?
Like, because, yeah, well, it's definitely like a pop rock record. It's like, it's very different. There's no like heavy guitars or screaming or anything on it, where a lot of their albums, which they have such a wide array, going through and catching up on music that I hadn't really been as familiar with of theirs, because I listened to Hybrid Theory and Meteora, their first two full lengths. There was a remix record in between there, but I listened to those over and over again and then kind of fell off. But going through, like, they really always stayed they would have like a ballad, and then they would have like a really heavy song. They would have a song with like a very metal guitar lead throughout.
So they
the
have
whole
good
thing.
variety.
Exactly, yeah, and they would always have like their hip hop leaning tracks where Mike would be the lead, and you know, so this new one is very much just a pop record. It's very emotional, and like I said, just an almost unfortunately fitting final record for them. You know, everyone's talking about what are they going to do now? How do you replace someone like that? You probably can't.
Yeah, and I think that's something to think about way
farther
for
sure.
down the line. Like, I get it. It's, you know, like, do you replace it? Do you break up the band? What do you do at that point? But I know you haven't been, like, super, like, not gung-ho, but you didn't really want to talk about it too much, but I think it's a good thing to talk about just because, like, for me anyways, I feel like our podcast is a good way for people to feel good. You know, if anybody's feeling...
It's also a podcast.
It is, that's true. But if anybody's feeling depressed or anything, I would hope that you and I can bring a smile to them. And
I agree.
And I think we shouldn't avoid talking about, you know, deep subjects. Because it is good just to be like, hey guys, you know, feel free to talk to us about it.
Yeah, you're right. I definitely prefer to discuss it. I guess I'm getting used to the fact that, because this kind of, last week we had some like more in-depth conversations.
Yeah,
too.
I like that though.
I do too. I guess I'm just kind of feeling out like, this one hit me kind of hard.
Yeah, and I think this is, a good one to talk about because a lot of people relate to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not into music, but Linkin Park, you know, for me growing up, that just some of their songs really, I don't know, vibed with me, really felt like, not that I was ever, like, super depressed at any point, but when I was feeling down for whatever reason, listening to, like, Numb or, you know, What I've Done, just even lyrically, like, not even that, just the music itself, it just made me feel better, you know?
And what's crazy is I think a lot of people are kind of realizing, like, I'm hearing everything in a different light now. All of his lyrics, especially because they kind of came out at, like, the early 2000s nu metal boom, and there were a lot of lyrics about pain and hurt, but a lot of it was just seen as aggression, you know? It was just like, oh, they're just loud, heavy, and aggressive. But even Crawling, which was one of their biggest singles, one of their first really big singles, you listen to that song, and it's all about his insecurities and, like, not being comfortable as himself.
Yeah.
And it was a very sing-songy track. It wasn't, like, as heavy as all their other stuff. So that's since their first record, you know what I mean? So it's always been there, and now I literally listened to their whole discography and being like, God, it's everywhere.
It's
like,
just it's there throughout all of it.
And now knowing how real that stuff was to him, like, he was never just putting out... Because you don't know. Like, you don't know if a band's just like, oh, I'm feeling kind of angry, so I'm going to write an angry song.
Right.
This was like an ongoing battle for him.
That was just kind of their theme, but it was also him, like, just spilling his guts out everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it just gives a realness to the music, and it's hard for me. It's even been, like, listening to, like, hearing his voice on the songs.
And to you, it must relate so much more because you're an artist, because you have a family, because, you know, you've been in this type of music for so long. Like, it must hit you.
That's what I was saying to Rachel the other day. I was like, I know, like I said, I know it's not like I know him, but there are a lot of levels. Like, Linkin Park is probably why... They had a huge influence on why I rap. People to this day say that, like, my last album, like, reminded them a ton of Linkin Park. A lot of people say that I sound like Mike Shinoda when I rap, you know, my tone and stuff like that. And it's just, I listened to them so much, and they were one of my favorite bands for such a long time. So I know that there's a lot of influence in there, and a lot of the, you know, a lot of the heavy music that I've played too has been influenced by them. I mean, anybody in my music scene has been, like, old friends I haven't talked to forever has been posting stuff like, I grew up listening to Linkin Park and all this stuff.
And that's the thing. I think this is, in a sense, a way for a lot of people to come together over just this, like, this band, this music. And, you know, and I think he wouldn't want everybody to be, like, to become depressed because he passed away. Like, because he suffered through depression. He wants everyone to just be like, you know, just come together, you know, enjoy our music, enjoy what we had, and, you know, I don't know, it just seems like something, nobody who kills himself, they don't want everybody else to be depressed because of it.
And that's the weird thing that's kind of looming around this whole situation is, like, when Chris Cornell killed himself, there's no way his desire would have been that it sent Chester Bennington into such a depression that he would have killed himself. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. If they were such good friends, you know, obviously, he wouldn't want that.
There's no way he would want that, you know? And it just seems like Chester had just written this record that was so, like, just pouring out all of his demons, you know. And I'm reading all this stuff about how he was such a great dad, and his youngest is twin girls who are 6 years old, and like he loved being a dad and loved being a husband and all this stuff. It's like, and like you said, those are all the places that I relate. I'm like, dude, you had a wife and you had kids and this band that is like your livelihood, you know, and their livelihood, and they're all like brothers, and you never hear them say, you know, you don't hear about any drama with the band and stuff. And again, some of this is speculation, but I'm waiting to hear more of, like, what were his last days like? Like, were people seeing him be sad? Was he on something? Was he on any kind of medication?
Right, they haven't come out with that yet, right?
No, and it's like, there's a part of me that's like you were saying, like, leave the guy alone. Nobody owes me or anybody an explanation, but there's this thing where people felt connected to this band and what they've done, and that's the thing with art, and that's the thing with entertainment, is you get connected to people, you know,
and they could have such a major influence on you and the rest of your life. So I don't think it's weird for you to feel as emotionally drained or upset because you didn't know him, because honestly, you really did. You knew, like, you guys didn't know each other on a talking level, but you guys, in a sense, he made you who you are, you know, he helped you towards that.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's like a piece of, definitely when you don't think about it as much when you're younger. Like, if there's a movie you really latch onto or an album you really latch onto, and you watch or listen to it over and over and over again, right? Or some people find a book that they fall in love with in high school and they reread that book.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize how much of that thing is like has an impact on you, you know? And then, like I said, this event has like changed the way I even hear that music.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, like that was definitely really in there because I spent so much time just listening to it, learning the lyrics. I know every like beat, every sound.
See, that's incredible.
On those records. You know what I mean? And so many people do. I mean, they were huge from their first release. They were huge, you know. First major label, anyways. And so I don't know. I guess I did just want to discuss it because it felt like such a big thing where we have this. You know,
yeah, our generation, I think specifically, just
for sure,
just because it was such a big impact on our lives.
Yeah,
you know. So
I was just reading a minute ago. Their sales and everything have gone through the roof.
I bet.
Insane, literally like a 750% streaming increase the day after he died.
Wow.
Or I'm sorry, the 19th. The 20th was the day that he died, and that day had a 750% streaming increase from the day before. And so people are going back and listening. People are checking out the new album. I would encourage people to listen to the new album. It's really good. There are a couple songs on there that have just like, you know, this record will forever have emotional ties to it now because One More Light, the song that I talked about earlier, he actually sang that at Chris Cornell's funeral. So, you know, they had, I'm sorry. They sang that song as a dedication to him on a show that they were performing on because they had just found out that he died and they had toured together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was already emotional there were already like these emotional ties to that album and now it's the last thing they ever put out together. And
I wonder if anything else is going to come out, like projects they never finished or anything. But
I don't know. It's a good
but
question.
Yeah, you're right. It is the official last thing to hear.
Yeah, which that's always a sad thing for me as an artist. It's like when Heath Ledger died, man, his like arguably his best performance in a film.
Yep.
And we won't get to see what he would have done.
Right, from that point.
Yeah, I left the theater watching The Dark Knight feeling sad. I know I've talked about it before, but I was like, that was amazing. It makes me sad because we'll never see it again.
Right, we'll never see Joker, but on top of that, Heath Ledger, like...
What else could he have done? You know what I mean? And
from there, it was, of course, only going to go up.
Right.
Because that was top level.
Yeah,
right there.
So something like this, it's like... And same thing with Chris... I don't know if I mentioned it, but Chris Cornell is also one of my favorite rock artists. Like, he's one of... I love Soundgarden, I love Audioslave. He's done some solo stuff. So losing him was like, man, and same deal with him, wife and kids. Like, he just... It's not like they had nothing to live for.
Yeah.
So it's just so hard seeing this stuff happen. And Chester also toured with Stone Temple Pilots. He did an album with them, and just like a super talented dude.
Yep.
It's a bummer. Rest in peace.
Yes.
And like Tim said, if anybody's like dealing with any stuff like that, please talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You could message us.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
as weird as that sounds, but I would much rather talk to anybody about any issue. You know? And like I said, I think it's good to talk about it because if anybody's feeling depressed listening to this, hopefully, you know, we made your day a little better. Just from our stupid jokes about Shark Week or or anything really. But I just think it's a good thing to talk about. And if you don't feel like you can talk about it to anybody, just send us a message.
You could. Maybe it's one of those things where you feel weird talking to people that are closer to you. So you want to reach out to someone else. I mean, you could come be on the podcast if you want.
Absolutely. That's fine with me.
All right. Maybe it's a weird note to end, but I think we're pretty much...
I think it's a good note.
All right, cool.
It's a downer, but it's a necessary downer.
Yeah. I'll get with that. Are you going to end Babel after that?
It's a little heavy, but maybe I...
Oh, that's the single.
Oh.
Have you heard Heavy? Dude, it's so good.
Oh, I bet it is. Man. I feel weird doing it in Babel.
Should we just let the music take this one?
I guess.
You can do an end Babel.
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
It's hard after that.
It is.
This is part of why I was like, I don't know if I want to, because I knew...
Who cares if you kill and babble?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll just take a break this week.
It's like a moment of silence.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have let you say that.
No, it's okay.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.
cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs